on? Steven here from the Ginger Snaps here with Kris, one of my good friends, and we had just finished watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 from the Netflix. This is going to be the spoiler review. So, of course, you had watched this last week, the same day I did. And then, of course, you gave me your thoughts. So now, this is where we're going to be talking spoilers. So, it's been a week, guys, and, we've been discussing it, and it's pretty much safe to say this movie kind of fucking sucks, right?
Yeah, fuck Gen X. Fucking hate them. They ruin movies, especially horror movies. They're horrible. He doesn't have COVID, I promise.
No, it's just smoker's cough. So, leading into the beginning of the movie, at least it had some sort of promise, even though they were showing clips from the original film that made you kind of wish you were watching the original film. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in true fashion, you have this convenience store, which I guess is the only one in fucking Texas, that is overdoing it. Like, pretty much, let's capitalize on what happened in 1974 and, sell some merch. Like the whole I Heart Texas, but it's a chainsaw.
Yeah, more of a gas station / convenience store, but in that aspect. And then you get the whatever you call these kids.
Well, yeah, I safely assumed in my other review for this that they were younger adults, because they literally look like, I know the younger character is definitely she's probably pushing 18, 17 or whatever, but everyone else, they look like they're in their 20s, but they look way too fucking young to be buying a whole fucking town. You know what I mean?
Fuck Gen X.
So they're buying this town of Harrow. Harrow is what?
Harlow.
Harlow. Oh, thank you. And I guess this town's a ghost town. This town's never had a backstory in any of the sequels.
Nope.
And the original either. It was just the fucking house. But of course, they're buying this town and they're auctioning off all the buildings and whatnot. And then, of course, before they do that, they get pissed off with the guy who has a big diesel truck and has a gun. And right off the bat, that opening quote she says, where she's like, "Oh my God, you obviously know he has a small dick when he has to drive a big truck and has a gun on his side, obviously compensating for something." Instantaneously, you don't fucking like her.
And the fact that they're in fucking Texas. Everyone owns a gun.
Yeah, well, maybe some people, but yeah, majority of the fact is definitely for sure people in Texas own a fucking gun. And just her fucking attitude towards a guy who's just going there to pump fucking gas is like, okay, now we don't fucking like you. And then, of course, then we find out that they're a part of that whole group of no gun violence anymore, because the one lead chick was involved in a school shooting. The less said, the better, because they didn't really pay attention to that in this whole entire fucking movie. They just showed the flashbacks of her.
Two scenes.
Two flashbacks of her on the ground.
And next to dead bodies.
Yeah, but there's no, they didn't go anywhere with that. They're just she was a part of a school shooting. We're meta. Anywho. So they're in the town, and then they focus on this fucking Confederate flag. And they focus a little too hard on that Confederate flag, because they make it a point to take down that Confederate flag, and then they talk to the girl who owns the orphanage, and then, she says the N-word, but the proper terminology of it, not the slang version of it. And then they finally get that flag down, and then it's never mentioned again. What was the whole significance of spending so much time on that Confederate flag if you're not going to really go off with it after that? I know for a fact when it came to this movie and you saw how Leatherface was when we were introduced to him, mm-hmm. You instantaneously told me that they're age-wise, he's 76 in this movie.
Well, yeah. He's mathematically he's 76.
Because in the original he's what? 25?
About 25 in that era, 22 to 25 era.
Yeah.
Right? And then you flash forward 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, do the math.
But he doesn't look fucking 70.
He doesn't look like he's in his 70s. There's things in the movie he does that a 76-year-old person can't do. Not every 76 person.
See, and that's where a lot of people sit there and they have those debates because they're like, well, how can you defend Michael Myers for taking down a whole entire town when he's 61? I'm like, because he is the personification of evil. Leatherface is just a fucking guy. Mm-hmm. That's it. He's just a cannibal who fucking eats people and kills people and shit.
And in quotes,
wears
mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged, exactly. Well, some of the movies, because it wasn't really explained in the first one that he's really mentally challenged. There's just something off about him.
He wears people's faces.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's obviously something. Well,
there has to be
remember,
something wrong in your noggin if you're wearing people's faces.
Oh yeah, tell that to Ed Gein because that's who the character's based on. Well, one of the three characters based on Ed Gein is Norman Bates from Psycho, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and then Leatherface. Now,
the cannibal part.
The cannibal part. Well, also wearing the faces.
And the wearing the faces.
Yeah,
of course.
The chainsaw part's is exaggerated. But we get to that scene where they take the girl. The girl has a fucking heart attack, and you pretty much now learn that this girl was pretty much being kicked out of her fucking house, even though she had the what was it, the bill of sale or the pretty much the lease agreement that this is her home.
For sure.
And they never bought it, so now they look even worse. And as an audience, we're all sitting there like, oh, now we fucking hate you even more. Because, like, now what I said in my previous review was that my spoiler-free one was, if they just didn't do something, this movie would have never happened. Now, if they just didn't kick her out of her fucking house, this movie would have never happened.
Well, it makes no sense because about the whole orphanage because he never lived in an orphanage. He was he was in the Sawyer house.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they don't mention until 2 minutes left in the movie. If you go all the way to 2 minutes in the movie, you see a clip and you see the house. They should have just started the damn movie from there.
Are you talking about the end credits?
The end credits.
Yeah, so we just found out there were end credits, and then we're like, oh, you had something to say about that. About how Leatherface, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, has end credit scene.
Oh, yeah. It's like they're trying to be Marvel when you wait to the fucking end of the movie to see what happens next. It's like an atrocity like this movie. It should have just been right after the movie ended. Like, that's it.
Or even like mid end credit where they go through the cast and then all of a sudden they say, oh, from this company, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then that scene, then go to the end credits.
Because how many people out there that actually seen the movie and after the movie ended, they're like, click, watch something else.
Well, I did. I was like, oh, the movie was good. Boom. And then you called me. And then I was like, oh, you watched this. Okay. But, like, now, we get to the scene where she fucking dies in the police van. And Leatherface fucks him up. Oh, Leatherface... The one thing we have to say about this movie that, like, is still to this day is one of the good things about this movie is the fucking kills and the brutality of it.
There's no shortage of it.
I mean, he breaks that fucking guy's hand.
Breaks it and then stabs him with his own hand.
Yeah. Like, repeatedly. I thought it was just the one time. I'm like, oh no, it was fucking repeated.
Yes.
Caused the other guy to get shot in the fucking neck and whatnot. And then they crash. That chick should have been dead, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they went full speed into that fucking farm equipment, that farm machine, and fuck, no, she should have been dead. Straight up.
Wow. She would have been dead neither here nor there.
Oh, yeah. Now, the one thing that makes no sense to me is the fact that this is a girl who's been taking care of him, theoretically, for over, 50 fucking years, and he's cutting her face off.
Well, she wouldn't be really a girl, would she? She'd be more of an old lady.
No, yeah, an old lady, yeah, but, I mean, that's how, like, do you remember any of the Leatherface movies where a family member of his died, and he literally just, I'm gonna cut their face off?
Well, no, you watch any of the other ones, and basically Sawyer is family.
Yeah, the Sawyer clan, whether it's the small family or like in Texas Chainsaw 3D, it's a bigger fucking family.
They had their grandfather sitting on the chair looked like he was dead for half the time, and they never decided to rip his face off and smack it on you.
No, they never did that. That was I think the one thing that really was like, if you're gonna make this like this is why it hurts to make this a sequel of the first one, because let's face it, I mean, they straight up copied Halloween 2018. They straight up did. But you gotta remember, how Texas Chainsaw 3D was the first one to go, let's make a sequel to the original, but they fucked up. And then Halloween comes around, like, no, we're gonna make this right. And then they made it right, and now we had this movie come out, which straight up copies it.
Well, let's be real. There can only be one older lady with long gray hair that can.
That makes sense as to why she's obsessed with someone for over fucking 40 years.
Well, exactly, and it's just the whole movie is. It's almost like a puzzle. Like you put one piece here, then you have to put one piece here, and by the time you think you got the puzzle right, it's all fucked.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie was. It was just brutal. Like, brutal. And then
the brutality is just, like, this has got to be the most brutal Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Like, hands down. Like I said, or like I saw online where they said half the kills in this movie are going to be in, like, a top 10 Texas Chainsaw Massacre kills. Like, in the whole franchise, half these kills are top 10.
Yeah, well, of course. There was a lot of brutality, a lot of blood.
Especially that kneecap.
Oh, oh. It definitely had you cringing at parts of the movie, but what really doesn't make sense was how, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but you could really tell in his hair that they really wanted it to make it gray so that it made him look like he was old. But you can totally tell they used silver hairspray.
Yeah, because it shined a lot more.
It shined a lot more, and because they
I honestly think it was just a wig.
It could have well been, but there's too many factors into a 76-year-old man running as fast as an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, that really bothered you. After the second time, it bothered me. It was like, oh my god, he's running fast. He's trucking it faster than her. He's like, what, 200 pounds more than her?
Oh,
and he's wielding a 40-pound chainsaw?
Easily.
And he's running faster than her?
Easily. Now let's just... I think we know where we're going to cut right down to the chase, where...
quite literally. Yeah.
Quite literally is where they go into the bus. By the way, fuck the Gen X. This is what you get. The
cancel culture, yeah.
This is what you get, because it makes no sense why you would have a bus full of people and then you have Leatherface right there at the front of the bus.
With a chainsaw covered in blood.
What do you think was going to happen?
Well, they took their fucking phones out.
They took their
Try
phones.
anything you cancel, bro. That's a stupid fucking quote.
That's a stupid fucking quote. And, well, needless to say, they don't all survive. And then what really makes no sense.
Remember, it's a spoiler review. We could just say it. Everyone fucking dies on that bus.
Oh, for sure.
And they die gloriously.
But the one chick that gets by Leatherface, that gets by him, because he misses. You see he swings and it hits one of the poles.
Yeah.
And she decides to go out the window when she could have went right out the bus, right and out.
Because you gotta think, he's got a lot of bodies in his way.
And
well, she did too, but I mean, like, she was skipping over them, right?
She's like 90 pounds soaking wet, the chick.
Yeah, like, and she goes out the window.
And she tries to go out the window when you have
and he's like right behind her,
and he's right behind her, like a good 5 feet away.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to me in that aspect. And then getting into like when
oh, you love that MacGuffin part where they had when we saw that corkscrew chainsaw thing, we're like, that's gonna be used as a weapon in the movie. And sure enough, when he pokes his arm through the fucking door, it's like, yeah, this is where she pulls it out, and boom, stabs it, and it's like, that could have played a more vital role, but no, it was just to help escape.
Oh, for sure. And he
Prolong
looks at it like
death.
it was a mosquito bite, and he just like
yeah.
brushes it off. But then you get Sally Hardesty, who comes in her truck,
her SUV, yeah,
and plays the hero. Do you remember me? Well, no, because he doesn't talk. Leatherface doesn't talk. He moans.
He grunts. He moans.
He grunts.
Whines.
He moans, and that's it.
I mean, like, we all remember in the first one and many of the other sequels too. He kind of whimpers, like especially in the first one when he's about to get his ass kicked when he fucking broke the door. Look what your brother did to the to the door. He whimpered.
He whimpered. Yeah.
More so in the Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey, though. Like, he was just whining and whimpering and crying.
And, like, sorry, going back to, like, a little bit prior events was when she creeps around trying to get out of the house when Leatherface is fixing his chainsaw. And then she gets on the stairs and he's there and he throws the sledgehammer at her. And she goes through the floor. But where's the sledgehammer? Yeah,
the sledgehammer just disappeared.
The sledgehammer.
You don't like when you see her go through. You don't even see the sledgehammer go through.
No, you don't see it at all. And then you jump back to where we were talking about when Sally Hardesty finally makes her appearance, and he doesn't want anything to do with her. As to when she goes into the house,
reminds you of anyone?
Or into the orphan. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Michael Myers not having any fucks to give about Laurie Strode in Halloween 2018.
Exactly. But Leatherface just sits there. And then she's explaining it to him like, you don't remember me, blah, blah, blah. And then he walks right by her. That would have never been Leatherface's style. He would have killed whoever was in his way.
Yeah, and he just walks by her like, bitch, I don't got time for you. Especially with her having a shotgun. Now, for someone who's traumatized, see, this is where, okay, you guys are going to copy Laurie Strode, right? What did Laurie Strode do the first minute she saw Michael in the house? She took out her fucking gun and shot. Sally just fucking holds that shotgun right in front of him and it's just like, you don't remember me? And then that's it. It's like, you don't even fucking shoot him. You wait until he's about to kill those two chicks. Oh, now I'll shoot him.
Absolutely, exactly. And then how he kills her, where he's hoisting her up, and for several minutes he's hoisting her up, and then he chucks her, which a 76-year-old man would not be able to do.
Yeah.
Chucks her, and then they're driving the vehicle, heading towards him, and it's not just a toss of the chainsaw, but it's more of a hawk, like you're throwing an axe.
Like he straight up fucking
overhangs it, and it just makes no sense whatsoever.
It could be just adrenaline, like he's just trying to scare her or scare them or whatever, just distract him so he can do. But it's more along the fact that he jumps out of the fucking way. Like a 76-year-old would not jump out of the way that fast.
Oh yeah, and then we get to the scene where the girl is about to get killed by him, and then Sally Hardesty shoots him, not once but twice, and he runs into the cinema. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, the little theater, yeah,
theater or whatever.
But she gets out of line, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay. So, like Justin said, like, my brother Justin, he watched the movie too. He said the black guy gets cleavered in the face, which is a gnarly fucking reveal. Oh, but he dies. Like, he's passed out, obviously, then he wakes up and then dies of blood loss and most likely choking on his own blood. Yeah. But Sally Hardesty, who gets stabbed with a chainsaw and it's revved up, and it's going and cutting and everything inside her. You know that shit hit her spine. So how was she able to move her fucking arms to shoot off around, like even live through that?
Oh, absolutely. And then what makes no sense either is she put in one shotgun bullet. Mm-hmm. And then as they go she goes into the theater with the shotgun.
Yeah.
She shoots 2.
Yeah. 2 rounds.
How is there 2 rounds when she loaded 1?
Where they totally, after seeing it for the second time, they totally ripped off Terminator 2. Where's not Lori, Sarah Connor is shooting the T-1000, and she's about to get him to fall into that molten steel, and then she runs out of shells, and then he recovers. I'm like, that's Terminator 2. They just ripped off Terminator 2 right there. Yeah. But there's a scene, well, now, what's explained is that these people obviously are just, like, they're against guns. They're one of those fucking groups, right? Now, when she's staring at that shotgun, she's hesitating because it's like, oh my god, I might have to actually touch a weapon that almost killed me. But moments before that, she had that assault rifle. Yeah. Like, no hesitation. And was about to fire it at him. But hesitates with a shotgun?
Yeah. And
it's like, what the fuck were you guys doing there?
Yeah, and then the sister comes out of nowhere, miraculously, and clips him with the chainsaw, but it wasn't revving. When she hit him, the blade was going, but it didn't cut him up. Because you could have told, because he got him right in the jaw.
Yeah.
So it would have split his chin right all open.
But you don't see an incision on the mask or nothing.
Don't see anything. And then in true Gen X fashion, you have to get into your fucking Tesla or whatever the autopilot can't drive out of there. See that doesn't make sense to me. You just seen all your friends get murdered. You just had
You see her pick up that Sally's hat, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna take it with me, like, as a fucking souvenir. Yeah. You didn't even know the fucking chick.
It's like there's no rush to get the hell out of there, because if it was me, I'd be the fucking getting out of there.
Well, these two, obviously, because when they were heading to the town, they were in the backseat, so obviously these two don't know how to fucking drive.
Clearly. And that's where you see the sister get beheaded, which was probably one of the best parts of the movie, because I didn't have to hear her talk anymore.
Well, but from what I heard, like I said to you, like what I heard was they did a test screening from this. Now, this might not be true. I don't know if it is. But they did a test screen for some audiences when they watched it, and they hated the ending because originally that's how Leatherface dies, was the chainsaw hits him in the chin, and then he just dies, and they just ride off. Now, everyone hated it, not because of the simple fact that Leatherface dies, but it was the simple fact that that girl kills him. And she is one of the most unlikable fucking characters in the whole entire movie. So they changed it to where she gets beheaded.
Which I think is way better.
It's a way better thing, because like, you did not want her to survive. That was the one thing about this movie that really lacked, was all the characters. Besides just the one character, well, 2 actual characters, actually. The guy who got, his kneecap fucked up, and then his head caved in. You liked him. And then you liked the younger girl, the younger sister. But everyone else you didn't fucking like. No one liked anyone else in the whole entire fucking movie.
Well, yeah, and then there's one major point that you may have not noticed, but when she's in the car with her sister and she's pinned into the car, and she's like, I don't want to leave you, you're the only family I got. Earlier in the movie, the younger sister said she didn't want to go live with her dad. So, miraculously, her dad dies to where she doesn't want to go live with her dad.
Yeah.
The whole movie, coming down to the end of this, is the movie did not do justice.
It's another bomb that tried to go back to the original, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and fans that have been waiting when they heard about it, and they're excited like me, and then get disappointed, and they could have done a lot better with the spin of the chainsaw, because it's the most iconic scene.
But you did like that fact that he lures her by having the chainsaw idling in front of that statue-looking thing in the theater. because that's true Leatherface form.
Absolutely. Now I'm probably gonna end this to where what I would rate it. I would give it a 4.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 4 out of 10, and that's being very good, nice, because
the only things you liked about it were just the kills.
the kills, some of the originality, like at the beginning, like Steven said, with the original playing and all that.
And the original voice actor who did the narration.
And now seeing the end credit, it was nice to see that the house was actually there the whole time, but it just wasn't used, and
sets up for a sequel that might not fucking happen.
It might not happen because this one bombed hugely. So that's my opinion on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Very disappointed. Fuck the Gen X again. I have to say that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but in horror movies like this,
this movie was a big fuck you to like cancel culture and Gen X people. It was a big fuck you to them.
Yeah, and
but still didn't fucking deliver.
This is why you don't mess with the classics.
Now, in my original review, I did give it a 5 out of 10, and I'm sadly gonna stick with that. It's a 5 out of 10, just because of the fact that it's like the kills made up for everything else that I hated, but there's way too much I don't like, and it's sad that this is on Netflix, so you're not going to see a DVD form of this. Maybe Lionsgate will have some sort of deal with Netflix. I don't fucking know. But when it comes to, like, what I actually initially thought was, oh, this movie was kind of better than some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. Now I kind of changed my opinion on this, where it's like, no, some of them are actually a lot better. Majority of them are a lot better than this one. Just because the story sucked, the characters are not likable, the kills are great, but other than that's much. There's just no purpose for this film. So now, with you being a big Leatherface fan, do you think this movie should have existed, or would you have just been better off?
I would have been better off. I would have rather them take an extra, even 6 months to a year to just like perfect it and make it something more entertaining to the fans.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's who buys the movies, buys the T-shirts, the accessories and everything. That's why they watch it.
Yeah.
They love watching the original, and if Gunnar Hansen was still alive, he would not have approved this movie whatsoever.
And yeah, no, honestly, I don't think he would. I mean, like, Texas Chainsaw 3D was a dud. Like, eventually I'll have... I think what we are going to probably be doing is, when it comes down to that point where we start reviewing the whole franchise, I'm definitely going to probably have Kris here to review it, because there's no one I know that loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre that I'm friends with than him. And I know he loves certain ones that I don't really like half the time, but maybe he can open my eyes and see what there is. But yeah, other than that, he gives it a 4 out of 10. I still keep it as a 5 out of 10. Would I have been better off without this movie? Absolutely. But, at this rate, I don't think they should continue. Like, that's now what? 3 horrible films in a row that led to nothing?
Yeah.
Well, this one might lead to a sequel, I don't know, but so far it's been 2 movies that led to nothing.
Hopefully they introduce the Sawyer family.
Yeah, bring back the Sawyer family for sure. But that's it for us, guys. So make sure, if you do like this, hit that thumbs up and also subscribe for more of the content. Kris, do you have anything that you want to say? Besides, fuck Gen X? Besides that?
I hope you enjoyed the review. I don't do these often, and I'm not really great with the camera, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one, I guess.
Yeah. So that's it for me, guys. This has been the Ginger Snaps here. That's been Kris, and we will talk to you guys